Hey everybody, it's your Professor David Britt. Wanted to welcome you to the first week of class. It's officially 2 days away, so I'm shooting this on Saturday. The first day of class starts on Monday, and I just wanted to give you an overview of Module 1 to make sure that you are getting started effectively. And so I wanted to remind you of a couple of things here. As soon as you log into the course, you're going to see a bunch of announcements. And so let me go to the announcements page. And so you're going to see tips on using the CSU online library. Remember, this is critical. You need to, particularly in a critical thinking class, you need to make sure that you have support for your opinions, and that comes from the CSU online library and peer-reviewed academic and professional sources. It does not come from Google searches. It comes from the CSU online library. Talked about discussion forums here. I think most of you have had a class with me before, but if you haven't, you need to make sure that every single paper is written in the format of an APA paper. You have a cover page, an abstract, headings, an introduction, a conclusion section, and a reference page. If you have any questions on that, I've supplied a sample APA paper here that you can use as your guide going forward, so make sure that you do that. I wanted to remind you of the due dates, and then I've given you a course overview, so I'm going to try not to repeat too much of that here, but if I do, please forgive me. So let's go to Learning Modules. This is the place where you'll find out all the information over the next 7 weeks. So we are going to be in Lesson 1, Week 1, Module 1. All those words mean the same thing. And so your look on this may be a little bit different than mine because I have the professor's view. So the first place you start here is under Read and Study. You'll see that the first week you have 3 chapters to read that serves as a foundation for critical thinking. It talks about the power of critical thinking. It talks about critical thinking mindsets and skills, and then solving problems going forward. So one of the things I mentioned this in the overview video. This class is not only about critical thinking, but it's about problem solving. How can you use critical thinking to solve problems? And so you'll see each one of the lessons here will have a lecture, and the lecture is created by the textbook publishers. Here I'm using Google Chrome, so that's why you'll see it embedded here. So make sure that you take a look at those. You have that for each chapter. You have a chapter video and a chapter sketch note video going forward. And then down here at the bottom, do not miss this. This is important. You're not going to find it in a textbook anywhere. This is something that I've created to help you work on the problem-solving exercises going forward. So you'll see that I will be presenting to you a 5-step problem-solving model. These are the particular steps, and you're going to be working on these over the next few weeks. So again, make sure, let me go back to this. Make sure that you do not forget to look at the problem-solving lectures each week, okay? And then for the deliverables this week, come on, work with me here. There we go. Deliverables, or what do you have to do this week? The first week you have a introduction where you have an initial post that needs to be in by Thursday, and then you have to provide a minimum of 2 response posts by Sunday night, 11:59. And so you have one on an introduction, and then you have one on critical thinking. What I want you to do is don't use any research. You won't hear me say that again throughout the course. But don't use any research. I just want you to understand, or I want to understand, what you think critical thinking is before we get into this and do a lot of research. Okay? And so that will be a discussion question. Then you have an assignment. When you see the word assignment, that means paper. So again, a formal paper, cover page, abstract, introduction, body headings, conclusion, reference page, all formatted like that sample APA paper, where you'll take these questions on the critical thinking mindset. And I need you to write a paper on that. I want you to describe the critical thinking habits of mind. And then you can write this in first person. One of the things that you'll see with me in writing is you should not ever write in first person unless directed to write in first person. So you'll see here at the end, since this paper has a personal application, first person writing is okay. Okay? So I want you to write a paper on that. And then we go into this problem solving case study that you're going to be working on over the next 7 weeks. So the first week that you're going to be working on here is just to provide an overview of the problem. So I've given you the case study template and I've given you the instructions here to follow. Remember, I want you to use this template as your format. I don't want you to fly solo on this one, and the reason being is because I want to make sure that you clearly follow the 5 steps in this problem-solving model, okay? And again, if you have any questions on this, how it's executed, don't wait till the last minute. Don't wait till Saturday or Sunday next week. Look at it, give me a question, send me an email, give me a call, and I'll answer any questions that you have about that, okay? So that is the first week. Again, it's just a foundation on critical thinking and problem solving, and want to make sure that you jump out, you get a good first week under your belt. And again, if you have any questions, make sure you reach out and chat with me. All right? Take care.